I went right to dragon. I skipped first degree. Sorry. Order.
Second degree.
I'm getting trying to get used to it. I can see you guys. Well, thank you, man. Y'all look pretty good. Thank you, man.
That's pretty good.
Better than I thought. Goodness.
Julia, Kunye, tenets of Taekwondo, begin.
Courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, respect, and victory, man.
Julia, Kunye.
Victory.
All right, just about sparring stance. I'm just going to start with a little shadow boxing. So on your toes and bring it nice and light. And just start punching, throwing some kicks, just warm it up. Set your feet, move around. That's it. Try not to get out of your area too much.
That's it. Get loose.
Yeah, just start easy. Start building some heat in the body.
Warm it up, man. Warm it up.
Trying to keep your combinations together. Jab, cross, kick, jab, cross. Right, keep your hands up by your chin, don't let them fall. That's it. About 10 more seconds.
Bam.
And time. Right, good. Step out double quarter whip. Stand and stretch out to the center on each side. Got that haircut. Good.
It looks different.
That's what happens when you get your haircut. You're different.
After like 6 months.
Is that your post-COVID haircut?
Yeah.
Post-quarantine. All right, everybody have a seat, butterfly stretch. All right, so we have a few things we want to get through today as we're talking about competition mindset. This is our final seminar before the tournament. Okay, Masters Club seminar before the tournament. I know it's going to be here in like a month. All right, so we're going to focus on some of the mental aspects of it today while we're also practicing the physical aspects. All right, we're going to focus on your form today, and then get to some weaponry. And if we have time, we might do some sparring, but I have some other competition things for us to work on too. So quite a bit to get to. That's why we have a quick warm up. The first thing that we're going to do today is go over our forms. All right. So I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes just to walk through your form, make sure you're warmed up, because you're going to perform them for. We're going to have small groups. Yeah, you're going to perform them for your small groups in just a minute. Okay. All right. So remember, we've talked about form a lot over the last couple of weeks. Well, actually, since you began Taekwondo, but specifically for competition the last couple of weeks. There's a difference in knowing your form and having all the moves in the right order and performing it for a competition. Last night, specifically, we worked on putting as much power as you could into your form, and I think everybody felt that took a lot more energy than just going through it, okay? All right, so go ahead and take a couple of minutes. We do have both rooms available today. All right, so if the third and fourth degrees wouldn't mind to take that room in there, then give you some more space, and I'll call you back in a minute, okay?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, go ahead and practice your form, and just start warming up, making sure that you're good with that. And then you guys in here, if you have any questions, if you're not sure about a move, memory, you got a couple minutes to ask me your master rules, okay? All right, so go ahead and stand up.
Finish.
Spread out and start practicing. Alright guys, so as you're warming up and doing your form, I want you to focus on a lot of the things that we talked about in the last couple of classes. Specifically eye contact, taking your time, making sure you're breathing out on each technique. because if you're holding your breath, two things are gonna happen. You're gonna run out of energy, and then also you tend to go faster, and when you go faster, that's when you make mistakes and don't really knock out that form. All right, so go ahead and take a few seconds here a few minutes to practice your form. We'll be right back. All right, so there's a couple of things I just wanted to mention about competition. Oh, he's over. About your mindset, okay? Because I think that's one of the hardest things. People don't compete because they're afraid of a couple of things we're going to mention today. And should you be concerned about them and think about them? Absolutely. Should you let them stop you from competing? No, okay? And you guys kind of know that, but we can all, I mean, you can learn it now, and 5 years from now, find yourself in a different type of competition, okay? And then have to kind of think about these things all over again. Are the only competitions physical? No. What other kind of competitions? Like what? Give me some examples.
Spelling bee.
Spelling bee, okay. Yes, sir?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Nationals, which is a card game. I know that sounds really stupid, but
No, it doesn't. No, I think games, whether they're like card games or video games or all those kinds of things, we can get very competitive with those too. We can compete, okay? So we have our physical that we compete with and our mental things that we do. Sometimes we're competing just with ourselves, and sometimes we're competing with other people. All right, so we'll go over a couple of those different things today. But I want you to understand a couple of things. One, you have to be tough to be a competitor. All right, you have to be able to handle the pressure. All right, how many of you know what I'm talking about? Okay, yeah, the nerves, the butterflies, all that. Sometimes you guys that are older, sometimes you have to compete at work, okay, at your job. You have to do a good job so that you can be recognized and move up, so there's always some sort of competition. That pressure is what stops people or messes you up. I don't know how many events I've watched over the years where people lost because it was in their head, not in their physical body. They had the talent to win, they lost it here, okay? All right, you have to be ready to accept winning and accept losing. All right, you have to be mentally prepared for that. If you go in thinking that there's no chance you're going to lose, that's a little overconfident. Okay, you may go in thinking I've got a really good chance to win, and some people will tell you to go in thinking that you are going to win. Right? I don't mind that level of confidence. Okay. But what that can do is it can take away your focus and your concentration. And that's when you make mistakes. And that's when you lose to yourself. Okay? The other thing that you have to be prepared for is you have to be prepared to lose. How are you going to handle it? Because especially in this group, we're all friends and comrades and training partners, and we go compete against each other. How is it going to feel if one of your friends beats you in the competition? All right? You gotta be prepared for that. Is that gonna mess you up as far as being friends? You need to make sure you're set with that before you go in. Okay? We're all here helping each other. And you do have to put in the extra work. You can't just, if you're going for competition, we can be good at martial arts, we can be great fitness, we can have excellent self-defense capabilities, good composure, but when we're going to compete against somebody else, that's extra practice. And that's why you guys are here today and some of the extra classes you've been coming to. You have to put in extra work. Extra practice, okay? And then two more things. One, it is okay to be proud of yourself if you win. Or if you did better than you thought you did. Or at least I got a point, okay? It is okay to be proud of yourself. We don't want to gloat and do that in front of others. You know, that's something you can go home and, or when you get into the dressing room to, you know, get out of your uniform, you can do that. You know, you can do that. We don't wanna do that in front of others, but it is okay to be proud. Sometimes we talk about sportsmanship so much, you think that you're not supposed to be happy that you won, but you are, okay? The other thing is to not get angry if you lose. You can be disappointed. You can be disappointed in not winning, or maybe you messed up and you're like, I've done that form 100 times and I got up there and forgot. Okay, you can be disappointed, that's okay. It's a matter of how you show your self-control with your emotions. You know, showing anger, crying, those type of things are things that we can work on self-control. Doesn't mean you're not disappointed, but it means you have control over yourself. Okay? And then the last thing and the most important thing is, what did you learn from the competition? Okay. If you get first place in your form, does that mean you have the best form in the entire world? Does it mean that you will never ever not lose in the future? No, okay, right. Okay, so there is, yeah, you get that, I won. You're only as good as your last win, right? Then you gotta work and get ready for the next one. So, take the win, take the loss, take the mediocre performance, whatever happened to you that day. What did I learn today? Okay, it may be that I can lose and not lose my temper. That's what I learned today. Or, wow, hard work really pays off. I won. Okay, all right, that sort of thing. All right, now with your form, what we're going to do, Master K and I are going to put you in groups of 3, and we're going to mix up ages and ranks. All right. Okay, and what we're going to do is you're going to watch each person do your form. I want you to perform your form as if you were doing it at a tournament. Okay, so you're going to do your best, your strongest form. The people watching you, I want you to give them one criticism. So normally we pick out the positive. Today we're going to take it a little on the harder side. You're going to pick out something that they could do better at, that they need to work on. Okay? That's also a sign of a good leader, is being able to, in a nice way, tell somebody they have something to work on. Okay? So you're going to be doing that. After you're done, all 3 of you are done in your group, you're going to do your form again and see if you improved on the part that they said to work on. Alright, so if they tell you you need bigger, deeper stances, the next time you get up to do your form, you want them to say, yes, that was better. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. Alright, so, yes ma'am. Yes, only your competition side. So some of you know both sides of the of your black belt form. Choose one to do at the competition. Those of you doing Chumu, do as much of the form as you're supposed to know. You don't have to know the whole thing. So like Ella, you just got your belt, so you're only supposed to know up to the run jump side kick. That's all you do. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any more questions? Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and divide them up, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You want different rank levels names? Or closest?
Yeah, what I'd like to make sure is that our younger students do have somebody older to help them, but also somebody older has somebody up here to help them too, so. Okay? Be right back. Just have a seat. Okay. All right. So we're gonna take just a second to practice a technique called visualization. All right. Okay. So this is a really good tool to help you practice when you can't necessarily practice. Alright, so let's say you're in the car, you can't really practice your sword form in the car. Visualization. Alright. Yes, you can.
Isn't it whenever you close your eyes and imagine you're doing your form?
Yeah, you can do it. It is. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it with your eyes open. I do think closed is a little easier, so you don't have distractions. So when you do it though, it is hard to not get distracted. So it takes a high level of focus to be able to do visualization. It's not easy. Just because you're not using your your body doesn't mean it's easy, you're using just your mind. But, here's the thing, and that's why we do those goal setting boards. Is because when you see something and you write it down, whether you imagine it or you actually do it, it sticks in your head. So it's just like if you imagine that, or you think that, and we've talked about this before, the things that you think about are important because it's the things that happen. If you think you're gonna fail, if that's all you focus on, it's a good chance you'll fail. If you focus on winning, if you focus on doing your best, there's a good chance you're gonna do your best.
I remember we got sent home a stapled packs of papers with a bunch of quotes. There was one of them that was pretty much like that.
About being positive in your thinking and how that can come true. Yeah, and that's what that's for. You know, you can go back and look at those all the time and go, and one day one of them will stand out to you, and then the next day a different one will stand out to you. So you can keep those and look through them, and that might be one that stands out to you, keeping that positive thinking. Okay? So just a little story. This week I had to have an eye surgery this week. No, I didn't see it. I almost did. Yeah. But,
What do you mean you almost did?
well, there were 2 tubes on the counter, and one was for my eye, and one was super glue.
Oh.
Put away your super glue, just in case, alright? Don't leave it on the counter. Alright. Yeah. So you never see. Alright, so, but one of the things that, you know, I was very nervous about it because you have to be awake, and you have to obviously have your eyes open while they do this to you, alright?
Yeah, ear surgery.
Alright, so that is something I was very worried about.
Oh, you have to be awake.
Yes, and you can't close your eyes.
Can you
You have to be perfectly still, alright?
For
No,
me,
you can't
does it
blink.
hurt? How
It
long
did
is
hurt. Well, hang on a minute, let me get to the rest of the story, alright? Okay, and I'll tell you later, but obviously everything's fine, right? You can need to tell. So the doctor did a great job. But the night before I was a little bit nervous, obviously, okay? So I practiced my visualization about, okay, I know I'm gonna be on the table, lying back, and there's gonna be a bright light, and I know I'm not gonna be able to move, and all these things. So I just imagined, and I just kind of imagined slowing my breath down and being very still and focusing on not moving and getting through the surgery A-okay. And that's exactly what happened. And I was done, and I was relieved. And it's something that I was like, that really does work because I had already been through it. In my mind, I had already been through the surgery, and I knew everything was going to be okay. I knew I was going to be able to be still. I knew I was going to be able to breathe well, and I knew it was going to be okay. And because I'd already done it in my mind, when it actually came time for it to happen, it happened pretty much just like I thought. And the doctor was very good and it was very quick. And even though it was very unpleasant, and
How long did it
it only took like 5 minutes, really.
No.
It was very short.
Your eyes open for 5 straight minutes?
It was not, like I said, it was not pleasant.
Could they not have just done that?
Okay.
No,
All right.
people actually
Okay,
wait, that's
so what I want you to do now is we're going to visualize not you having eye surgery. All right, we're going to visualize you doing your weapons form. Okay? Now, even if you're not doing weapons in the tournament, maybe if you want to do this visualizing your taekwondo form, or anyway, visualizing the weapons form is still good practice. Okay? So, everybody just spread out just a little bit so you're not too close. So you don't
Get COVID. Can you
scoot out a little bit. Spread out.
what's it, iPhone?
We are going to close our eyes. And you guys at home, you're going to do the same thing, okay? So you're going to go ahead and think about one of the weapons forms that you want to do, and you're going to have a seat, and I'll walk you through this. We'll do it all together, all right? Have a seat. All right, close your eyes. Now the first thing I'm just going to talk you through, I want you to just take a couple of breaths in through your nose And you can breathe out through your nose or out through your mouth, either way. You just close your eyes and just kind of calm your breathing down. Okay, so when you do your form, your weapons form, I want you to picture yourself, imagine yourself with your weapon, standing nice and tall, ready to begin your form, and you are feeling very confident. You know your form. You even have a look of confidence on your face. And the instructor says, begin, and I want you to visualize yourself doing your form, your weapons form. And you're doing excellent. I want you to visualize you finish your form. Everybody's cheering. You can even kind of see the smiles on people's faces. You can see them shaking, clapping their hands. And I want you to visualize yourself winning. The instructor's handing you a medal or a trophy. Visualize yourself accepting that. And then lastly, I want you to visualize you're telling your family and your friends how you did your best at the tournament, how you did well with that weapons form. What are the looks on your family's face or your friend's face going to be when you tell them you won? Hopefully it's happy, not surprised.
It's more of a
Jaw drop.
I actually imagined your jaw going all the way down.
Did you? I'd like to see that when that happens.
Especially from your dad.
Alright, okay. Alright, so if you didn't get a chance to visualize your whole form, Ethan said he didn't get through his form, you can do it again, just move to the side. But now is the time to take that and practice. Now, did anybody have a hard time with visualizing?
Yes.
It says say practice. Yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not an easy thing to do. Okay? Alright. But you can do it with anything, not just weapons form. You can do it with schoolwork. You can do it with having to do something scary. Alright? Okay, but it does kind of help your brain know that everything's going to be okay. Alright, now it's time to practice our weapons form. So everybody get whatever weapon you want to practice and spread out and you can start practicing. Okay? Alright guys, so hopefully you had a successful visualization. If not, try it again, or you can go ahead and get up and start practicing your weapons form.
I've got to say I was like really impressed with just today with everybody's practice and focus and concentration, and that's the goal of the Masters Club. You guys have the mindset. We might not be masters yet in martial arts, but we can have the master mindset, right? Okay? And I just saw that today. So everybody just focusing, giving 100%, and I didn't see you guys just going through the motions. I saw you trying to get better. Really saw it from everybody. So that was really cool. Okay, Master Olson asked me to talk about winning and losing some more. Okay, and so I wanted to give my perspective on some things, and it has changed greatly over time. And I'll start with when I was about 9 years old. Okay. So when I was 9 years old, I've always been extremely competitive. Okay. Do not like to lose.
Now.
Okay. I do not like to lose. I like to win. Okay. And that hasn't changed. Okay. I still like to win. I still don't like to lose. But my relationship with losing and winning has changed a little bit. Okay. And how I think about it. So like when I was 9 years old, I was a first degree black belt. Okay. And I was competing a lot. All right, we compete once or twice a year here. When I was a kid, we would compete probably like 6 times a year, so like every 2 months or so. Okay, competed a lot, and I didn't like to lose. Okay, and so I lost. I was first degree tournament. I was a first degree black belt. I was in a tournament and I lost, and I was crying. I was upset. Okay, because I lost the tournament, and I remember Master Olson, Mrs. Master Olson, walked over to me. She gave me a little hug because I was a little down, but she said, "It's time for you to stop crying when you lose." Okay, and okay. And after that, I was like, okay, I stopped crying when I was losing. Okay, it was a lesson that I had to learn. When you compete, okay, you're gonna win, you're gonna lose. All right, it's okay to be down about it. I don't get excited about losing, okay, but I don't cry about it anymore, right? Okay, because I know that losing is part of the process. Getting better and learning. Okay, so I kind of came up with 3 P's for competing. Okay, and I like to use this with my MMA, my fight. Okay, that's something that I take very seriously. I have a lot of fun doing. Okay, but I don't just get out there. Try to fight and hopefully I win. Okay? I don't do it like that. Alright? And you can apply this to anything. You can apply this to your schoolwork, if you love basketball, soccer, okay, like chess tournaments, okay? Whatever you're into, okay, if you take this applies to all of them, right? So but anybody like to guess what do you think raise your hand please. Okay? But anybody like to, Michael, what do you think one of these is? Positivity. That's a good one. It's not, and these are just 3 that I came up with, okay? So that doesn't mean that's wrong. Okay? Will, what do you think is one?
Perseverance.
Okay, it's another good one, but not one today. It's me.
Patience.
Patience is a good one. Not one I had in my head.
Wow.
Personal best.
Personal best. Okay. Not the word, but the concept.
Person.
So,
Person.
performance is the last one I had. I'll explain it in just a minute.
Perfect.
Not perfect. You're never perfect.
Practice,
Right? You can raise your hand. Just
Perspective.
close.
What did he say?
Perspective. Which is important. Yes, Buzz.
Practice. How did I get that right? I wonder how.
Ma'am.
Prepare.
Prepare. Okay. All right. So we'll start with prepare. Okay. That's number 1. All right. Now the reason what's happened to me over time, okay, is if I do these 3 things correctly, okay, then I've done all I can do. Okay? And if I've done all that I can do, everything, 100%, 110%, if I've given everything that I can do, okay, then I'm okay with the outcome. Does everybody understand that?
Sure.
Okay? I'm okay if I win or lose. Okay? So, preparing it kind of goes with practice, okay? But let's say for a fight, okay? It takes me about 3 months to get ready for a fight. Okay? What are some things that you think I have to do in the 3 months? Okay? Carson.
Practice punches.
Yep, practice punches, okay? We're gonna put boxing in there. Just running against. Now I don't have to cut weight for 3 months, okay? But what do I have to do?
You have to make weight. Like
I have to eat healthy. So I have I have to have a good diet, okay, for the 3 months.
Should you do like 2-a-days or something?
Yeah, so I try to have 9 workouts a week. Okay, so I try to work out twice a day through the week, 3 times, and then 1 time a week the other 2 days, and then 1 workout on the weekends. Okay, so I try to do 9 workouts a week. And that doesn't include, I'll do like some stretching and things like that, just to stay feeling good, okay? Anything else? Yes,
You hydrate.
hydrate. I walk around with a gallon of water. I gotta drink a gallon of water every single day. Okay?
Really?
That's harder than it sounds. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Don't you cut it like a few days before to make weight?
Yeah, I've got to cut weight. So if I don't eat healthy, then that is not fun. Okay, it's not fun either way. But if I don't eat healthy, then I can't cut the weight. Okay, so I have got to eat healthy. Yes, sir.
This isn't a thing you can do for that. I just realized the girls can't do this because you put voying. Yeah, voying. Voying. Voying.
Thank you, Will. Great observing. Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Could you say that you pay attention to your sleep habits more?
I have to make sure I sleep, especially the older I get.
Recover your body.
Sleep and recover. Okay. Absolutely. All right. Now, there's a lot more that goes into this, but we're going to keep moving. Okay. Practice. All right, guys. I have to practice. Now, not just practice. Okay. Now, what I saw today, I'm going to highlight Carson. Okay. I really saw a lot of people doing this. Okay, but Carson was the first one today. We were practicing for him, and he said, "Hey, Master Olson, can you watch this to make sure it's correct?" And he wanted to make sure that he was practicing correctly. Okay, and that's what's super important. Okay, you can practice until the cows come home, but if you're practicing the wrong way, you're not going to get better. You've got to practice correctly. Okay, all right. So practicing correctly. Everybody's heard. Practice doesn't make perfect.
Yeah, practice makes permanent.
Practice makes permanent. Perfect practice. Right? You can do 1,000 sloppy push-ups and not get any stronger. Right?
That is true.
You can do 10 good push-ups and get stronger. Okay? So, practice. Practice. So, perfect practice. Has everybody heard practice with purpose?
No. Yes. Yes. You don't just practice.
That is one of Master Mathis's, Master Kevin Mathis. That's one of his main things that he teaches. Okay, is practice with purpose. Okay, yes, Ben?
Practice for like a long time, because even if you do like 100 push-ups, like to have a different spot, it's not going to do anything unless you do it for a long time.
Exactly. Practicing something 5 times tomorrow you might forget it, right? You got to practice something 500 times, 5,000 times for it to be, so that you can do it without even thinking about it. Okay? When I'm in the ring fighting, I'm not like, how do I do a hook punch again? Okay? I'm not thinking like that. Okay? It just has to be when I see the moment, everything just goes. Okay? I don't have to think about it. Okay? And then, so practice, like when Master Olson said today, warm up with shadow boxing. Are you just going through the motions? Okay? Now, we're warming up, we're going slow. Okay? But I never warm up with my hands down here. Okay? Because if I start practicing like this, what's going to happen when I'm in the ring? Okay? So I'm going to warm up, I'm going to go slow. But I want to practice like I'm going to do it in the ring. Does that make sense? Okay? Even when I'm warming up. Okay? Even when I never just, I'm just going to practice my hands down today. Well, that might, next time I spar, next time I compete, my hands might be down. Okay? Always do. This feels so weird to me. This feels bad. Okay? This feels very awkward to me.
Like
if
this.
my hands are down. Okay?
You're
My
doing
hands, Gotta be up here. If I don't see my hands and my eyes right here, if they're down too low, it feels weird. Okay? Alright, and then performance. So the last thing, okay? Performance, who said it?
I said personal best, but that's not.
Personal best. So what I have to do when I go out and it's time to fight, okay? I just want to know when I go to bed that night that I tried and gave everything I had. Okay? So I just give 100%. Okay? I tried my hardest. I was focused as much as I could get focused. I concentrated as much as I could. I gave all of my energy, everything I had. Okay? Yes, but
Instead of 100%, how about 110%?
I like it.
Why 110? Why not 100?
All right. Yes, sir.
Why not 5 million?
Okay, absolutely. So, this is why. So this is how it's changed from when I was 9 years old and I lost and I was over in the corner crying. Okay, to now, if I prepare, if I do my workouts, if I follow my diet, okay, if I sleep right, drink all my water, if I practice with purpose, have perfect practice, practice correctly, okay? If I do that every time I train, and then what I'm saying there is don't just show up to practice and go through the motions. Like today, I didn't see anybody. Everybody, when you were doing your form, you were doing your form to get better. That was awesome. Now, I've done this before too. Has anybody ever kind of just gone through your form, not really trying very hard, just kind of go through it? I've done it.
The grocery
Okay,
store.
I've done it sometimes. All right.
In my head.
What's that?
In my head at the grocery store.
In your head at the grocery store. I can just picture Aiden in the milk. Aiden in the milk aisle, practicing the store. Okay.
I'll get those eggs.
So whether I'm doing it slow or fast, easy or hard, I'm practicing it the right way. Okay. And then when it's time to perform, I give 110%. I give everything I have. If I've done all three of these things, then I accept the outcome, win or lose. Because is there anything else I could have done? Okay, no, I gave it all that I had. Okay, and then if you do all this consistently, all the time, you're probably most likely you're going to win more than you lose. Okay, but sometimes we lose. Okay, sometimes there's a bad call. Can I change that?
No.
Can't. Okay? So you have to learn to accept that. And that's why I'm okay. If I did this, this, and this, it's okay. I can sleep good at night. I gave everything I had. If I didn't do some of it, if I gave out here and gave 60%, if I didn't practice very hard, or if I didn't prepare, if I, drank Coke for 3 months, and I ate pizza for 3 months, okay? Then do you think I'll be upset at the end of when I lose?
Yes.
I'm like, you know what? I didn't do this. Okay? Or I didn't do this. So yeah, I see why I lost. Okay? It makes sense. Alright? So I want you guys to think about that. Prepare, practice, perform, and then if you do that, then you've given all that you can. Don't worry. Whatever the outcome is, accept it, be okay with it. You can't change it. Move forward and move on and do it again next time. Okay? Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Finish me.
Thank you, sir.